total shocker in Washington. Right when the front office is hustling to beef up the roster for 2025, an all-pro level but controversial star is suddenly up for grabs. Trading for this player could end up being an absolute nightmare for our franchise. The price tag, through the roof. Do we really need another big ego when we're finally building something special here? I don't buy it, but that's not all. The draft is right around the corner and a silent crisis is looming in our wide receiver room. Who's going to step up and fill the shoes of our new superstar after 2025? Clock's ticking, and we're running out of time to find answers. Meanwhile, a seasoned vet from our O-line just spilled the beans about the painful loss in the NFC Championship, and how that gut punch of a failure is fueling this squad going into this year. The info you're about to hear is going to flip your view on the Commanders' future. If you're a real fan, you gotta catch these details ASAP. Don't even think about missing a second of this deep dive. A bomb just dropped in the NFL trade scene. The Miami Dolphins are reportedly shopping one of the league's most well-known cornerbacks, Jalen Ramsey. And yes, our Washington Commanders are rumored to be in the mix. Let me make one thing clear. This player is a massive risk we need to avoid at all costs. Why am I so sure? First off, let's break down the money. We're talking about a contract that's through the roof. More than $16 million this season and nearly $25 million per year for the next 3 years. Is that even workable for our financial planning? No way. Plus, we already gave up valuable draft capital to bring in Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil. Do we really want to keep mortgaging our future? Is it worth risking our long-term blueprint for someone who might be just a short-term patch-up? My take, Adam Peters, our GM, has got to play this smarter. Then there's the on-field performance. Ramsey is coming off maybe his worst season as a pro. For the first time since his rookie year, he didn't make the Pro Bowl. Sure, the stats don't look totally terrible, but if you actually watched him week in and week out, it's clear his play is slipping. And at over 30 by corner standards, he's basically a grizzled vet on his last legs. What about the locker room vibes? Dan Quinn's been building a squad where humility and accountability are front and center. Ramsey, for all his skill, is famous for having one of the biggest egos in the league. Are we really looking to drop a personality like that into our rising crew? In my book, that would be a huge mistake. The Dolphins have been having leadership headaches lately, and Ramsey was supposed to be one of their locker room leaders. That doesn't say much about his ability to actually boost the team culture. Why would we want that kind of influence around our young core? No way, we've already got solid options on the roster with Marshawn Lattimore, up-and-comer Mike Sainristil, and new face Jonathan Jones. If depth's the issue, why not dig into those middle rounds in the draft? There's always young, hungry talent out there, ready to buy into our culture and way easier on the wallet. So I gotta ask, would you rather have an overpriced, declining star corner who's all about themselves, or keep building with guys who fit our team-first vibe? Our front office crushed it this offseason, giving Jaden Daniels the support he needs. Bringing in Laramie Tunsil to guard his blind side, plus Deebo Samuel as a true weapon, this offense is set to light it up this year. But there's a huge issue almost nobody is talking about. Did you know Deebo Samuel is basically a one-year rental? His contract's up after 2025, and there's zero guarantee he sticks around. That leads to a critical question: who takes over if he bounces? This is a ticking time bomb that needs attention now. Ben Solak over at ESPN said it best. We gotta work the draft to find a potential WR3 who could eventually step into Samuel's shoes. If you're looking for that Wasey yards after catch ability, there are two interesting names from TCU: Jack Beck, who's a day 2 or day 3 type pick, and Savion Williams, who could be there a little later. Now let's look at our depth chart. Luke McCaffrey, Noah Brown, and KJ Osborne make up the next wave of receivers. Solid role guys? Sure, but let's be real. Have any of them shown legit star upside? I don't think so. We need somebody with breakout potential. Williams ran a blazing 4.48 at the combine, and he's a big physical guy with major YAC promise. Beck is another bulky wideout, tough as nails, with the tools Quinn loves, and the grinding attitude to develop into that long-term number 3 option. Yes, we're aiming to win now. I love that mindset, but I gotta ask, shouldn't we have one eye on 2026 and beyond? Ignoring the future while chasing a single hot season would be flat out reckless. This is exactly the kind of forward-thinking smart move that separates playoff regulars from one-hit wonders. We've got a plan not just to get good, but stay good. So which college receiver do you think fits our offense for the long haul? Would you go for a pure burner or a more physical guy like those TCU dudes? Last season was a wild ride for this team. We blew past outside expectations, but in the locker room, missing the big goal tore everyone up. Nobody feels that sting more than the players themselves. Trent Scott, the O-line vet we just re-signed, opened up about how that rough ending is driving this team forward. In a sit-down with Lake Lewis Jr., Scott talked about the 55-23 loss to the Eagles in the NFC Championship. It was a tough way to wrap things up. I know the guys are carrying that chip on their shoulders all offseason. But here's the part that really gets you. Laying out the plan for 2025, he said, "When we come back, it's day one all over again. We'll lay those same building blocks down, just like last year, and rebuild that foundation, and I believe that's what it takes." If you were following the team close last season, you could tell something different was brewing. The way the coaches talked, the energy in practice, the way players responded, there was a totally new vibe, and that was set by the players themselves, hammered home by leaders like Terry McLaurin, Bobby Wagner, and Zach Ertz. For guys like Scott, it was all about being ready to step up no matter what, where, or when. When he got called up on that Monday night in Cincinnati, he sure was ready. In that same game, when Jaden Daniels introduced himself as a legit force, Scott, a lineman, ended up catching Daniels' very first career touchdown pass. Anytime you get to show these hands and let the world know you got that in your back pocket, man, it fires you up, Scott said about the play. Honestly, I was more hyped, a little nervous, when the ball was floating up there, cause trust me, it felt like it was hanging up forever. That one play says everything about what being a commander meant last year. It wasn't about the individual, it was all about the team. Scott only played one offensive snap that game, helped his squad get the win, and may have been the happiest dude in the locker room afterward. So let me ask, hasn't this kind of winning culture been missing from Washington for way too long? To me, it's exactly what we've been needing. Scott also talked about the new guys. He's fired up to play alongside Laramie Tunsil, someone he's followed for years. He thinks Tunsil and Deebo Samuel will bring a whole new level to the squad in 2025. Even though Tunsil's arrival could cut into his own snaps, Scott's got the right attitude. I'm a competitor. Pumped to get back into that competitive vibe and show what I got. Wherever it shakes out, I'll be ready. That's the core of what Dan Quinn's built. Be ready when your shot comes. Like Scott says, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If all 53 dudes buy into that, special things start happening. Isn't this commitment to excellence exactly what's been missing in Washington for decades? I say yes, and it's awesome seeing a new culture finally taking root. The Commanders' leadership is right at a crucial crossroads. We've got a real shot to build something lasting, but a couple of rash choices could blow it all up. Staying away from Jalen Ramsey might end up being the most important move of this entire offseason. Making the right call in the draft at receiver could mean the difference between being a contender for 1 year or a whole decade. And holding on to that team-first culture guys like Trent Scott are guarding is absolutely essential. What do you think? Should we take a gamble on Ramsey or stick to the blueprint? Which receiver would you love to see us draft? Does team culture matter as much as individual talent to you? Your voice matters in this community. Be part of this family of diehard fans watching the rebirth of our franchise. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss an exclusive breakdown on our squad. Drop a comment below, share the video, and smash those notifications. And remember, hail to the Redskins!